Hello, everyone. This video will be going over the AP Style Book's definitions of abbreviations, acronyms, and titles. For abbreviation and acronyms, you really want to avoid using too many. If the reader can't tell what an abbreviation or acronym stands for, then you don't want to use it. Remember, AP Style is all about clarity, so you want to avoid using things that would confuse people. You also want to avoid using abbreviations and acronyms and headlines as much as possible, unless it's just something that everyone knows, like the CDC or something like that. Now, an acronym is a shortened version of a name, such as WHO, which stands for the World Health Organization, the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, or UA, which might stand for University of Alabama. An abbreviation, on the other hand, is a shortened version of a word, such as saying DR period for doctor. In terms of punctuation of abbreviations and acronyms, acronyms that have two letters get a period between them, such as US, UN. There are some exceptions to this. In fact, AP Style Book actually breaks its own rule here because AP does not have periods between it, even though it stands for Associated Press. So make sure that you're looking up entries if you're unsure of whether the acronym needs periods between it or not. But as a standard rule, acronyms with two letters only get periods between them. When you have more than two letters, then you're going to present the acronym in all caps without periods between the words, such as FBI, NBC, and CIA. Again, there are some exceptions to this, but this is the general rule. In terms of what to abbreviate with AP Style, the first thing is any company, corporation, incorporated, limited, that comes after the company name. So if you're just saying the company is Best Buy, period, company would still be spelled out. But if you were saying, Devers and Company, it would be Devers and CO because it comes after the company's name. With dates and numerals, there are certain months that are abbreviated, the others are not. So months that are abbreviated are January, February, August, September, October, November, and December. So any month that has 5 or fewer letters in it will not be abbreviated ever. It will always be spelled out. However, you're only going to abbreviate a month if it has a numeral with it, if it has the actual date with it. So the first day of fall is in September. September would be spelled out, while the first day of fall is September 22nd. Because a numeral comes with it, you would abbreviate it there. Same with time of day. You would only abbreviate AM or PM if there are numerals with it. So it's 7:05 a.m., it's early in the morning. So you would not say it's early in the AM while writing for AP format. Numbered addresses are also abbreviated. Again, this is similar to the dates and time of day rule, where you only abbreviate street, avenue, boulevard, etc. When it comes with a number. So the White House's address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. You would abbreviate avenue in that case because it is accompanied by 1600. Where the White House is on Pennsylvania Avenue, you would spell out avenue in this case. States are treated a little bit differently with AP Style Book. You typically spell out the entire state when used in the body of a story, whether it's standalone or in conjunction with the city. No state name is needed if it's in the same state as the date line. So if I'm writing a piece from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm writing about the city of Montevallo, I'm not going to put Montevallo, Alabama in my copy, because if I'm a Birmingham, if I'm writing a Birmingham article that's the date line says Birmingham, Alabama, then you're going to assume that any city mentioned within the body of the copy is also from Alabama, and therefore I wouldn't give the state name. You would use the state if it's not the same in the date line. So if I'm writing a piece from Birmingham, Alabama, but I'm talking about somewhere in Tennessee, I'm going to use Tennessee. If I'm writing a national piece or I'm a national paper, then I want to specify the state, because I'm not tied to a particular state if I'm a national outlet, or if it's needed for clarity. So there are some cities that appear in multiple states, and so if it would be confusing as to what state I'm referring to, you would want to include it. Otherwise, we usually do not include the name of the state, especially for local pieces. There are 8 states that are never abbreviated. The general rule is if there are 5 letters or fewer, then you would not abbreviate it. And in addition, non-contiguous states, which are Alaska and Hawaii, would also not be abbreviated. The only times that you're going to use abbreviations for states are within the date line of an article, if you're listing different states, or if you're using a party affiliation. So if I'm saying that someone is a Democrat, in parentheses, I may put D dash and then the party affiliation, or excuse me, the state with which that person is affiliated. But the abbreviations for AP style do not use the postal codes like AL for Alabama. Instead, you're going to use the abbreviations you see to the side here. Alabama's is capital A, lowercase l, lowercase a, period. So make sure that you are using the AP style of state abbreviations when writing and following the appropriate abbreviation rules so that you're not abbreviating states very often. The only time within AP style writing that you would use the postal abbreviations, such as the 2 capitalized letter for the state, is when you are using a full address, including the zip code. So if I was listing out the exact location of something, then I could use the postal abbreviation as opposed to the AP style one. Titles are also abbreviated quite often. Here are the most frequently used one: doctor, governor, lieutenant governor, addresses of persons such as Mr., Mrs., Miss, representative, senator, and reverend. There are also military designations, but these are very specific. So if you're writing a story that involves the military, such as an ROTC story on campus, you're going to want to make sure that you go to the AP style book section on military so you get the appropriate abbreviations for those military designations. You're always going to capitalize formal titles when addressing someone's actual proper title. So when it's used directly before an individual's name, it becomes a formal title. So President Donald Trump, president would be capitalized here, but it's going to be lowercase when it's not used with an individual's name, such as the president said it was wrong. Here, although the president is still a title or position, it's not referring to a title of a specific person, so therefore it's lowercase. You're also going to lowercase when offset by commas, when the name becomes a non-essential clause as opposed to an essential clause. So the president, Donald Trump, said it's wrong. Donald Trump here is a non-essential clause, so therefore the title is not associated with his name, and we would not capitalize it. Now, when referring to the current sitting president, the preferred style of address is using his formal title, where president would be capitalized. But if you're saying the president, Donald Trump, when you add the article the in front of president, president is no longer a title, it's an occupation. So formal titles denote authority. We usually only use titles for people that have a certain position, either within a company, within a government, or something like that. Others tend to be occupations, and they would be lowercase. So your book references movie star, and now I can't think of a movie star, Angelina Jolie. There we go. Movie star Angelina Jolie. Movie star would be lowercase because it's referring to an occupation and not her actual title. In stories with US state lines, you would not use US before titles for government officials unless it's needed for clarity. For example, you wouldn't say US President Donald Trump if you were writing for an American outlet. Now, if you were writing an international story talking about the US president as well as officials from other countries, then you would need to put US President Donald Trump because you're clarifying what country Donald Trump is president of. You also don't capitalize a qualifying word such as former, designate, or acting because former President Jimmy Carter, for instance, you would not capitalize former, but you would capitalize President and Jimmy Carter because that is a qualifying word for his title of president. So now that we've gone over a little bit about the abbreviations and titles from AP format, I want you to follow along with the homework. That will be due Tuesday at midnight. And that's going to end week 3 for us. So I hope that you are continuing to learn a lot. Please don't hesitate to reach out no matter what questions you may have. And if you need anything, I'm definitely here for you. So thanks so much for all of your hard work in this class, and I will see you for week 4.